everybody. This is my 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme at night. We can just show you what the lights are like and all that. Just an in-depth review. This is a good car to do this on because it has as many optional lights as were available. So here we'll start off with the gauge clusters and the control lights. This car originally came with no clock. It had just a gauge blank, but the only unfortunate thing with the gauge blank is that it did not light up. So all you saw was that, and it looked lopsided. So I decided to buy a clock. I found one not working for $50, and I rebuilt it. And that is the functioning clock in the car. It works excellently. It keeps quite good time. And I have not had an issue with it stopping. I can't remember what I used for lubrication on it. But the points on the winding mechanism are in excellent shape. Like I did say, that gauge did not light up. So in order to get those lights, you had to order a clock or the tack or the tick-tock tack on the Rally Pack gauge cars. Another light that did not come standard was this light for the wiper controls. You had to get the lighting package to get this set of lights over here. And right here is the service tag from the year I was born for this car, 1999. And the car was sold new in Neenah, Wisconsin. And that is where this service tag is from, which is quite cool. The only standard light underneath the dash that you got was this light right here for the climate controls. Whether it was air conditioning or whatever, there's no backlighting to the climate controls like in some of the 60s cars that I like my 66 Delta and my friend's 64 Dynamic. The climate controls are backlit. Downside of these is it's a little hard to read. So I mean, you just sort of got to know where the controls are. But after you own the car, you get familiar with the controls. So it's not really a problem. It'd just be nice if you could read the lettering. That's my only complaint with that aspect of the dash. Other than that, like your wiper controls are super easy to read. But again, this light was optional. So if you don't have this light, they're not so easy to read. I just think that's funny. They make you the light that's standard, you can't read. If you don't have the optional light, you still can't read. So you just got to know where everything is. This car does have the interior lighting package. So again, you do get another light on this level of the dash. It is an optional light over here. Now, and it was working. Come on. Oh boy, the switch is not working. Oh, that's just my luck. That's just my luck. But I can open the door and show you. It is this light right here. For some reason, the switch is a little jammed. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Car's been sitting in storage for a while. There's probably a little corrosion built up on the switch. You just had to work it back and forth a couple times. But this light is also optional, and it's not supposed to have a blue tint like these. It's supposed to match the amber of the footwell lamps, which are also optional, but do the car so much justice. It is so nice to have those footwell lights when you open the door. It is just fantastic. So this is the only other light you get in this level of the car that is not standard. Another optional light is in the ashtray. It is supposed to have a blue lens right there, and it does. That is an optional light. That's part of the lighting package. The final light in the dash that is optional was the glove box light. Not even a glove box light came standard. And that was true on American cars for quite some time. My 2003 Ford Taurus does not have a glove box light because it is not a standard option. Another optional light with the lighting package is the map light in the fog in the rear view mirror. So that is a light that is very handy to have at night. Looks like it doesn't do much to light it up, but then you put your hand right there and it's quite bright for a non-LED. Which of course all these lights in this car are non-LED. But I think that is one of the most useful lights that came with the lighting package. Another aspect of the lighting package was you got a mirror on the sun visor, on the passenger side sun visor only, with the little rocket emblem right there in the corner. A nice little touch, a nice frameless mirror. I think it looks very clean and really suits the interior of the car quite nicely. Standard light up here. Dome light comes on with the doors. And optional lights were the sail panel lights. I cannot say for sure if they're part of the lighting package or not. I think they are. But again, they do so much justice for the car in helping to illuminate the interior. Like, this interior is bright. And then you kick on these lights and it's like it's daytime in the car. It's just wonderful to have all those lights. All right, another optional light on the car is the night watch feature. If you look down here on the dash, right underneath, there are some boxes that you may or may not be able to see. One of these is a hood lock. Right now the hood is in the locked position. We'll unlock it because there is a light underneath. And the other one is it's a button called Night Watch. It's a little hard to show you at night, but what it does is it kicks the headlights on. Let's see if we can't make it a little darker in here so that we don't have less contrast and you can see the light. The Night Watch button. Nope, I just don't think you're going to be able to see it, unfortunately. We can turn the flash on, I believe. There you go. So, there's our hood lock. We put the hood in the locked position and the unlocked position. Just so people don't steal your air cleaner, your battery, stuff like that, because there's no hood release. You have a brake release, and that's it. The hood release is under the bumper. But this is the super rare option on this car that I have yet to see in the years I've been going to Oldsmobile shows. I have yet to see a car with the night watch option. I have only seen one other system in person, and that was at the largest national Oldsmobile show, the Oldsmobile Homecoming show in Lansing, Michigan. And it wasn't on a car. It was for sale for $500 for the whole system. There's a magic printed circuit board box that goes under the dash and whatnot, and it runs through the oil pressure sensor circuit. What this does is you push this button and the lights come on, the headlights come on for about 50 to 60 seconds, and then they shut off automatically. And that is, the theory behind that was, allows you to exit your garage. If your car points at your back door, it allows you to get your key out, get the door unlocked. Things like that. It's a very nice convenience option. I actually, back in 2019, I road tripped this car with a friend of mine in his classic car. And we showed up at the Rio Museum in Lansing, Michigan. I asked them if they had any sort of production numbers, how many cars came with this night watch system. They said, we don't know. In fact, we have yet to see it on a car. And I was like, well, chance would have it, I have a car here in your parking lot. with the system on it if you would like to come and take a look. And they did. They were very excited to see it. They thought it was very cool to see some young kid, some young punk in his 1970 bamboo 1970 Cutlass Supreme with this insanely rare factory option being daily driven and road tripped from 2 states over. Just they were thrilled to see it, and I have yet to see it, and I like to tell people about it. People don't even know it existed, because Oldsmobile didn't really advertise it. Even in all the marketing that I've seen, there's only a paragraph in the very back of the brochure for this. There's no picture. There's no nothing. That's a lot like the anti-lock brake system that Oldsmobile had available on the 1970 model year cars. There's actually a wheel speed sensor in the differential housing, or on one of the axles. I cannot remember which, one of the axle hubs in the rear. And when you would step on the brakes, if slip was detected, there was a box under the hood, a little printed circuit board in a box, and it would automatically pump just your rear brakes. It was a single channel ABS system, and I believe it was only available on the 1970 model year. It could have been available on the 69 and earlier, because Oldsmobile was the experimental brand, but I do not know for sure. Another rare option. There's so many rare options on these Oldsmobiles that people don't even know exist, and this is one of them. Nobody knows what that is, and honestly, if you go to car shows, this is not a restored car. This is a Survivor, a Wisconsin Survivor car, and I survived extraordinarily well for being in the Rust Belt, in one of the rustiest states in the Rust Belt, Wisconsin. And even if you roll the window down and people poke their head in, they don't even see it down there because it's tucked way under in the corner. Like even if you're driving, you don't see it. It's right there. And it's tucked under the dash, far in there. Nobody even knows it's there. They see the hood lock, and their eyes just don't make it past that. So it is a little unfortunate that for how amazing the option is, it's not groundbreaking. It keeps your headlights on for a little bit. But it's just something so rare and unique that it's a nice touch. It really makes this car special. Not saying the car would not be special, because I don't see very many bamboo Cutlass Supremes lying around anymore, but it just is that extra bit of flair for the car, considering it is a 2-barrel car. Another one of the optional lights on the car is the underhood light, which operates on a sensor, on a mercury sensor in the hood hinge. You open up the hinge, the mercury trickles down, connects electrical contact, and your underhood light kicks on. So we will open the hood up a little bit, and it should kick on. There we go. And they put it on the right side of the car. I mean, it's on the left side, but I think they put it on the correct side of the car. The only thing you would really have to check over there is your transmission fluid. But here, you have your brakes, you have your engine oil, you have your power steering fluid, your washer fluid, your battery connections. The only other things you would have over here that you would check on the side of the road at night would be your transmission fluid, which you can actually see the dipstick from the light, your coolant, and potentially your alternator belt. That is about it. So just another nice touch on the car. Really adds to the niceties of the car. And then that's the first latch, and that's the second latch. Then you have your marker lights. Starting in 68, they were putting marker lights on the side of the car. These ones over here. And in 68, they were actually rocket emblems on the quarter panels. But unfortunately, 1970 is not cool in that regard. But there are your marker lights. And then my favorite part about the 70 My second favorite is the front end. My absolute favorite is the back end. I mean, those taillights I think are just fantastic. With the marker light down the side. And it is just a sharp looking car. Especially with the notchback roof line. It's just a very formal, stately looking car. And it's in tan and brown. I mean, it does not get much more 1970 than that. So, yeah, that's the most lights you could get. Oh, we have one more to look at, actually. The trunk light. And then that is the most lights you could get on a 1970 Cutlass Supreme. Right there. Also optional. And all it does is it works off of an arm right there. You can see it's a little touchy. It's got some dead spots in it, but it works. And if it doesn't work, you just go over there and you tap it and it kicks right on. But you can see, so if I gotta lubricate my trunk hinges, you can see right there it turns on and off. I'm gonna have to put an epilepsy warning on this video. Yeah, that's about all you can get. I would like to recover the seat this year, so I can get rid of my wonderful fleece seat cover. But yeah, that's it for the car. For all the lights, for the at-night view. And then you kick your headlights on like that, and then you kick your high beams on with the floor switch, which I can show you with my footwell lights. Right there, that's your high beam switch. Click that, and your red high beam indicator comes on. So yeah, that's what you get for lights in a 1970 Cutlass Supreme. Probably one of the best 70s dashboards that you could get in a car.